I was so excited to see this come up in my feed. The studio version is absolutely amazing. I can't wait to see what she does with it live. Let's go back and talk about that introduction. That was pretty incredible. So she starts lying down. Her trademark starting grounding in her chest voice, but being so free to get up into her head voice and intentional about that as an artistic choice. And then singing the same notes in chest voice as she was in head voice, or ish. Creating that spontaneous aggression and going in and out of it. Creating intensity by holding back air over a belted note. It's not getting louder. It's actually getting a little bit quieter and sizzly. And then the way she pushes up, heating it up as she ascends. It's so beautiful. She squeaks out of it. And then the dynamics here. Again, back and forth with her chest and head voice. It's almost like every other note. Listen to that screamy thing that she did in contrast to the last one. It's a lot grittier. It's a lot more broken. Listen to the intro of it. It's that little chirp at the beginning. You can tell she's coming down from her head voice there. It sounds very different in my voice because I'm a different vocalist. But that approach and that unhinged sound that comes from coming down from your head voice and letting your voice break, leaning into that it's just so cool how she's implementing it. She is completely in the zone, acting off of passion and inspiration. And this is really what's needed. We have to be able to enter this kind of thing in our own creative endeavors. If you'd like to learn how to use your voice in ways that unlock all sorts of things you never knew were there, inspired by what Ado does, click the link below and join my free voice course. You can find the link in the pinned comment or the video description, and I'll help you free what's already in you with non-judgment, with the correct mindfulness perspectives so that you can go crazy with your own voice and creativity. Aishite That section again. So more of that unhinged vocal break sort of thing, but she has so much control over what she's doing, and then she gets into that really brash sort of sound, which I've talked about a lot on the channel with other artists. That Chris Cornell sort of bass sound. And then mows it up into a lullaby. Yes. Something to try if you want to experience your own voice in a new way is choose just a few notes, just like she's doing. You could even borrow from the melody. Oh, oh, and try seeing how many ways you can sigh into a note. And try different vowels. This not only sounds kind of cool, maybe. I mean, don't be afraid if it sounds dumb. This is an experiment and a way to explore your vocal agility. One of the reasons that she's so agile is because she's comfortable with, she's never afraid of her voice cracking. At least she doesn't let on that she's afraid of her voice cracking by the way that she approaches her voice, particularly live. Rather, she's constantly in the state of encouraging that volatility and vulnerability in her voice. And this exercise helps you with your agility because it gets you out of the way of your own self-consciousness about your voice in the moment. She may be, and she's kind of communicated in interviews and such, that she is self-conscious about some of the things she does. But in the moment, she's in it. And this way of using your voice and experimenting with it, developing that kind of coordination will give you more confidence and agility in your voice. Take a cue from Ado. She becomes younger here with her posture, vocal posture. Yeah, see there she's completely unhinged. And that's good. It's not about being perfect or refined in any way. I want to see something real quick. It looks like there's some help lines in there to help her recover from some of the really unhinged moments, because you can see her mic is away from her, at least in the shadows. That's interesting. Right there. And this is something that's done so normally in so many different live situations, especially with a demanding role like this, with a single vocal. I love how she opened that note up. Listen to this again. Added a bit of breathiness to that. It was very forward, and she brought the resonance back a little bit. So nasal there. Aishite. Dynamics. Yes. Yes. Okay. You hear her doing that as she's climbing that line. She's doing that exercise I was demonstrating earlier, but not as an exercise, as art. I love how it starts with this intention sort of being, that note an octave higher, but then she just lets it completely fall apart and gets that brash sort of cat-like thing going, as well as just completely abandoning into whatever her voice does there. Oh, it's just so cool. You heard that pitch perfectly up there in that one scream. She preserved that melody even with that abandoned scream. That is ridiculous. I have to point out again that part of what makes this so aggressive, and I keep using the word unhinged to describe her live performances, is this. It's not constant screaming. It's not constant brashness. It's not constant anything. She is so incredibly varied and bouncy with her vocal approach. This is what keeps us like, okay. If it were all one thing, even if it were really intense, it would feel less intense. This is why she is so incredibly fun to listen to, particularly, I think, live. And the other thing about this approach is it actually saves your voice because you're not locked into one particular posture. It's playful, it's more fun to listen to and watch and engage in, it's more inspiring, and it's safer and able to grant you more stamina as a performer. Absolutely stellar performance in every way. The live musicians, the set, the mystery behind her, and it's just so compelling, so cool. I love Ado's voice. I love her approach. She is so incredibly playful and fearless, willing to be vulnerable, willing to let what comes out come out, and supporting that with masterful intuition and creativity and practice. She works hard, you can tell. Again, if you would like help drawing more inspiration for your own voice, Seeing what your voice can really do, inspired by the unhinged, non-judgmental, playful way that Ado approaches her voice, click that link below and join my free voice course. You can find that link in the pinned comment or the video description.